James Cameron's 2009 epic sci-fi film Avatar was a sheer treat for movie fans. Not only did he push the limits of what movies could do with ingenious technologies, but he also struck gold in the process. It's no surprise that Cameron's Avatar, which gave us a glimpse into the captivating world of Pandora, became the biggest grossing movie ever made. Of course, Cameron didn't put a halt to his highly imaginative and absorbing filmmaking skills there. He gave us another stunningly immersive experience with the follow-up film Avatar: The Way of Water, which was released in 2022. Well, as ardent rooters of the franchise, we've always pondered what actually happened canon-wise during the 13-year interval between Avatar and The Way of the Water. It looks like we're finally going to get some answers, given that the franchise will address the in-story gap between the first two movies, all thanks to Ethan Sachs and Salvatore Porcaro's 6-issue comic series, Avatar: The Gap Year, Tipping Point. In today's video, we're going to explore the first issue of the comic series that was released on 22nd October. Are you ready? You better be! But before we get into our explanation, we do have one very small request. If you enjoy our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Now let's begin. Believe us when we tell you that Avatar: The Gap Year, Tipping Point is the best way to prepare yourself for the third installment in the Avatar film series, which is all set for a 19th December release this year. So far, only the first issue of the comic has been released. Therefore, without any further delay, let's get to the exploring part. Humans always find a way. Boasting an action-packed cover art by Porcaro, the first issue begins 14 to 15 years after the events of the original film, a period of relative peace that followed the Na'vi's successful expulsion of the Resources Development Administration, RDA, from Pandora. Jake Sully, now permanently inhabiting his Na'vi avatar body and fully integrated as the Amotakaya clan's leader, has a family with Neytiri. This period of over a decade has allowed the Na'vi to rebuild their lives, seemingly triumphant over the Sky People, with Jake having experienced peace like never before. However, the narrative immediately establishes a sense of foreboding, primarily through Jake's perspective. Drawing on his former life as a human marine and his knowledge of the RDA's corporate greed, Jake has always held a deep-seated suspicion that the RDA would not simply abandon their investment, worth billions of dollars, in unobtainium. Jake's worst fears are proven right when the powerful corporation returns in force to exploit Pandora's resources. Weeks later, forests that thrived for thousands of years have vaporized in minutes. As Jake looks around what used to be a lush green area, he realizes that the Sky People are capable of doing much worse things. Their tyranny will spread across the extrasolar moon like cancer, and soon they will come for his family. Jake knows that they have to be stopped at all costs, and given his current position as the Amotakaya clan's chief, everyone is putting faith in him. At times, the faith of his Amotakaya brothers and sisters does become a tad overwhelming for Jake. He sees them as young warriors who look up to him for hope. As we move on with the storyline, Jake is seen prepping up his clan before engaging with the Sky People. He knows they're formidable opponents, so he sends Liat, who he believes is not ready to face battle, to scout the closest enemy base and record the times of the patrols. Liat, who is the new Toruk Makto, is seen riding on the fearsome Toruk and flying away. Jake is aware of the fact that he and his clan need to plan their moves strategically, and for that they need to know who they're up against. The new enemy. The next comic panel introduces us to Tyler Bukowski, a major of the SecOps, or in simpler words, RDA's contracted private military company. Now, there's no denying that the scale of this new arrival is far greater than what we've seen in the past. The RDA has spent the intervening years developing new, advanced weaponry, and dare we disregard a military force specifically designed to counter the Na'vi. With the very introduction of Major Bukowski, we as readers realize that this is not to be mistaken for a limited incursion, but rather an organized, calculated, and devastating effort to re-establish human dominance over Pandora. As for Major Bukowski, he's simply bowled over by Pandora's beauty and wonder, and he's more excited for his daughter Sin to witness the place herself. Bukowski opens his mask to breathe in the air, only to realize that the atmosphere is still inhospitable to humans. But then again, he's quite positive that the RDA will soon figure out a way to engineer the human lungs to adapt to Pandora, which, mind you, he also addresses as his new home. Bukowski is immersed in his thoughts and about how his daughter and her descendants will inherit Pandora, when he's informed by his subordinate that the general is trying to reach out to him. Bukowski leaves from there to attend to the demands of the general. It's finally in the next panel that the readers are introduced to Jake and Neytiri's children, Neteyam, Loak, Tuk, and Kiri. No points for guessing that the quartet is all by themselves without their parents' knowledge. While Neteyam tells his siblings to hurry up, Tuk says that she is tired and asks Kiri why they have come so far. Kiri informs them that they have to harvest Apophet for medicine. From the children's conversations with each other, a strong feeling of tension can be sensed, It's clear Jake has been finding ways to keep his children and the other clan members as far away from the Sky People patrols as possible. It was only after Neytiri spoke to Jake and made him understand that he let the children get off the mountain for a change of scenery. With the children taking a shortcut to catch up to their father and others who are way ahead of them, they nearly miss a patrol ship spotting them. Father versus vigilant leader. Jake and Neytiri by then have not only managed to catch up with their children, but they've also witnessed their children's actions. Of course, in his heart, Jake knows that his kids simply made a mistake, but he's furious because he knows that his children cannot afford to make mistakes, at least not with the danger that's currently looming over the clan. Jake wants Neteyam to lead, but he knows very well that Neteyam has to be better at controlling his brother Loak first. As for Loak, he certainly needs to be better at controlling himself, and cannot act impulsively. While the struggle to live up to the legend of their father is real, what the children don't know is that their father also struggles to live up to that very legend. The following few panels show how the RDA is back in force, this time with more firepower and advanced weapons. But then again, Jake will do whatever it takes to protect his clan, as Jake, Neytiri, and a few clan members are seen engaging themselves in an intense battle with the RDA at the latter's least protected part. Lives are lost at both ends, but after a vicious fight, things ultimately turn in favor of the blue-skinned sapient humanoids. Jake leaves a message for General Ardmore, stating how he is standing over the dead bodies of her troops, and deliberately gives her the wrong location of their valley. Jake is quite aware that he does not have the numbers or the weapons to face the Sky People in an open battle, and that he's certainly in need of time. The whole point of giving the general the wrong location was to buy more time so that they can prepare themselves with whatever they have. Neytiri assures Jake that they will win and that the Sky People will lose because unlike the latter, the former fights for family, people, and each other. First Blood. Back at the SecOps Forward Operating Base 12, Major Bukowski is informed of the earlier attack by Jake Sully and his clan, with General Ardmore listing taking out Jake Sully as the priority. Bukowski tells her that he has some good news for her. The team has managed to capture Liat, who was caught while spying on the base, trying to record the times of the patrols. Liat puts up quite a fight, but Bukowski tells everyone that he's going to deal with him. As he looks at the young warrior, Liat reminds him of his daughter. Bukowski wastes no time in stabbing Liat, and even speaks to the dying Na'vi in his native language. As per Bukowski, he believes that he has gifted Liat an honorable death, one that his superiors would have certainly not done. Since he has shown Liat mercy, he wants something in return, and that is to help him send a message. According to Bukowski, the Na'vi don't have to die, they just have to understand the new order. Bukowski has the dead body of Liat tied against a tree, and leaves a personal message for Jake Sully, having drawn the first blood. Well, this is how the first issue ends. The ending will categorically send ripples throughout the Omotakaya clan, and crack the very foundation of Jake's resolve. With the entire world at stake, Jake and his adopted people will have to resort to all their skills and also luck to win, because losing is no longer an option.
Run! Definitely run!
Marvelous verdict. Afraid that's all for today, and with this, we finally come to the end of our video. While issue 2 of Avatar: The Gap Year Tipping Point is coming out on 3rd December, the third Avatar film, Fire and Ash, is looking at a 19th December release. So, have you seen the first two movies? Also, what are your thoughts on the first issue of this comic book series? Do you believe that it's bridging the year gap between the two films like it is promised to? We'd sincerely love to know what you think. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Please leave a thumbs up and stay tuned with us as we promise to come back with more exciting content. Till then, goodbye and thanks for watching. Have a nice one.